Hi guys, you're welcome to the Lara Studios. This is another episode of Android Programming. We'll be talking about how to create a login and register page with Sqlite database. It is mostly required to store users and app data locally. Android SDK provides several APIs for developers to save user and app data. So Sqlite is one of the way of storing data. For many applications, Sqlite is the app's backbone, whether it is used directly or via some third-party wrapper. In this tutorial, we'll actually be referencing Sqlite directly. Let's quickly have an introduction to Sqlite. Sqlite is a lightweight database which comes with Android. It is an open source embedded SQL database engine. This provides relational database management structure for storing user-defined records in the form of tables. We have some key points when it comes to Sqlite. It's a relational database management system. It is written in C programming language. It is embedded within the Android operating system, so you don't need anything external on Android to use Sqlite. You can manipulate, you can do the CRUD, the create, the read, the update and delete. So I'll be moving straight to Android Studio, where I'm actually going to create an application which will have the login and register. Afterwards, we'll be moved to the user activity, and we're actually going to be using Sqlite database exclusively. So I'm actually going to click on Start a new Android Studio project. I'm going to name it Sqlite. Let's say login. Despite the fact that we have register, but let's keep it a login. And I click next. This should be Studios. Studios. Next. Picking phone and tablet. Next. Go for an empty activity. We have the activity name. We're actually not going to have main activity as the activity name. It's going to be login activity. So activity login, that's fine. So finish up the structure, and after we have that set, we'll be heading straight to the dependencies where we need to introduce the Android support design view, because we're actually going to be calling some dedicated design view, which is a material design, because the form we'll be creating will be exclusively material design. So I'll be moving straight to Gradle scripts. In the build Gradle, I'll have to include this dependency, which is compile. And support. Design 25.1.1. So it's actually, we have that right there. So I'm actually going to sync Gradle, sync down to get that done. So after that will be structured, I'll be moving to the layout. Let's create the layout files. And we'll be having three major ones: activity login, the register, and the users page. So let's run down the login, or let me just create those layouts, and we'll get to embed the content afterwards. So we have activity, register. We're going to have activity users. That's fine. Back to login. Now I'll be creating the form, which will actually take the login details. So it's actually going to be a nested scroll view. So I'm actually going to change this relative layout to Android support version 4 widget nested scroll view. That's fine. Now let's have the preview just by the side, so we'll get to see what we're doing. We have that set. I would like to introduce an ID for you forget doing that, and I call that nested scroll Our match parent with the night, we need to give a background. So that takes us down to the color. Let's have the colors. XML. Let's introduce the colors that we'll be using right there. We have the default, which is the color primary dark, and accent. And now we're actually going to introduce the color text. Introduce that color name. Call that color. This will be white. That's hash F 6 times. Have a set. And let me have the text int. We just take the text color, so we just maintain that. Just introduce that alone for now, and go back to our activity. Let's go back to activity login, and let's get that set. Now I'm going to introduce a background color. I'm going to call Android background, calling color. Now I call the color pyramid dark. That's fine. And we have the bottom paddings all around. Oh, that's fine. Let's set that. Now I'm going to change this context because we're going to have a sub package. Activities package will actually house all views as it. So we're actually going to break this tutorial structure down. Activities login activity. That will be the package to the login activity class. Take away the text view, don't need that, and I'm going to maintain something like. So now we get the Android support version 7 widgets linear layout compact. So we're creating the form, and this form is actually going to be a material design form. So just look at the new style of creating forms now. You get to learn that here. Layout with the night. Layout with first. Let's match parent. The layout height. Android. Also match parent. Let's go on. Now I'm going to give an orientation. Vertical. That's set. So right inside here we have the image view. Android support version 7 widget. So you just don't call image view, you call the version, the widget. That's the material tag compact image view. Over there, give Android layout width, wrap content, Android layout height, also wrap content. Android layout gravity, we call the center horizontal. Android layout margin top. That should be 40 dp. Let's give some margin at the top. Now we call the source of this image. Source is just going to be a logo. It's a business logo or something. Now it's going to be art drawable. It's called logo. I need to paste in the logo, I actually designed. It's just simple. This is it. So just get your own logo and paste in something of that nature there. You can see that displayed. Close that right there. Now we need to introduce a text input layout. Let's start the form. That's the login details. Call that Android support design widget. This time is text input layout. Let's give an ID, Android ID. Let's give text input layout email. It's for the email field. Layout width, cost, match parents. Let's give our content. And we're going to create a margin at the top, Android layout margin top 40 dp. That's fine. Now right there, we have the text input layout. I'm going to introduce the text input edit text. Android support design widget text input edit text. That we actually hold on to what will be passed in. Let's assign an ID. We call that text input edit text email layout Android layout width match parents Android layout height wrap content, and we're going to have a hint, call that Android hint, and this takes us down to the string. Let's create the hint. So I'm going straight down to the string. So we're actually going to create some string values. So we just make calls to them. So just watch what we're doing. The first string value, string name, that's hint name. Let's call that name. We need to have string hint email. Call that email. So I have another one, string. So on the hint password. Password. We're going to have string confirm password. That's hint confirm password. So these are the string values we'll be using. The error message, email, age, password, success, text already, and for if the email exists and if the password match, just take it of that. Let's go back to activity login. Now in the int session, I'm going to actually call the add string int email. That's fine. So we'll make reference to that easily. Now let's create the text color for the int. Text color. Now for int, let's maintain art color, a white shade color text. This perfect. Moving. We're going to have Android an input type. You should remember that text Android. Let's have maximum lines. We just don't break down. We have too lengthy text. That's one. And we're going to have the text color. Let's have a text color. We call the color text. That's fine. So we close that. Very good. Now we have the closing text input layout. So close that space. Now the same thing will go when we're trying to create the password. So instead of me just copying all over, you can just copy this and change the details. So these will actually be for password. Now input layout ID, let's change this to password. That's fine. Margin top now, reduce this to 20. Now we go to the text input. Now instead of email, change this to password. The int, you call the int password. That's fine. Color int, fine. Return fine. You can see. We maintain what we have. That's good. Now we're going to introduce something. Let's quickly see what we're doing. Yes, right following. We're going to introduce the button. So let's do that. We're going to call the Android support version 7 widget app compact button. Over there, assign an ID, called app compact button login. Now layout with an height, layout width should be match parent. Layout height. Let's make it wrap content. It's fine. We'll move in on. Let's take away this so we get to see what we're doing. Now let's have the margin top. Layout margin top. So that there'll be a space from the button and the fields, then the text. Let's assign 40 dp. And let's introduce the color, Android text color. Make it white color text. And let's give a background, Android background color text int. I think we didn't lock in that. As for the, we get to look at color text int. If you get to look at that, let's get to look at that. The text int, we actually didn't give that. So back to the colors. the color name, call the color text int. So that let's give hash 51D 8C7. That's fine. Back to the activity login. We have the set. And what else were we going to do? We're going to for the color int. Let's give the text so Android text, which will call from the strings, and it's going to be text login as a string. Text login. What's it there? So we close that. Fine. Let's look at it. That's fine. Now the login, and we should have a kind of message to tell us if you've logged in, or if you don't have a login details, please register. So we're going to call the Android support version 7 widget app compact text view. That's it over there. Now assign an ID. Let's give text view link register. That's fine. And Android layout width. Let's give field parents. Android layout height. Let's give wrap content. Now we're going to have margin top, 30 dp. Let's have gravity, not layout gravity, just gravity. We have that as sender. Yeah. So we're gonna have the text itself. That's Android text. I'm going to call the string text not member. So let me try to find that string text not member. That's fine. Let's give a size 16 SP. And let's give a color. Text color. Call the color texts. So we close it right there. Let me take away this white space. Let's get to look at it. That's fine. That's good. No account yet. Create one. So this will be clickable. And let's straight to the activity register to get the register set up. It's actually going to house the name, email, where you get to set all that right there. So we're going to actually maintain the scroll view as well as Android support version 4 widget. That's the scroll view. And let's look at it. Layout with tonight, match parent, let's assign an ID to this. I'm gonna call it nested scroll view. I think I have such. That's fine. Now we're going to have a background. Color primary dark. like we have for register, for login rather. Now we're going to have Android padding. So we're going to specify 20 dp. This is actually going to take effect for the 4 sides, top, bottom, left and right. Now call the tools context. So it's actually pointing at activities. Let's log in activity. Let's import this. Brings it in. So we get to create the activity later on. Now I'm going to introduce support version 7 widgets, linear layout compact, Android layout width, match parent, layout height, match parent, orientation, vertical. That's fine. So right inside there, we're going to have the Android support version 7 widgets, app compact, image view. Need the image view, Android layout width, wrap content, Android layout height and contents, and we have Android layout gravity, center horizontal, Android layout margin top 40 dp, and we call the source just the same thing we did earlier. I think I will get to copy some of this right in. Source equals the drawable logo of the set. Now we're going to introduce the text input layout. Let me just have a check on the login. Let me pick some of the snippets over here. Just pick all these. Go back to activity register. Paste that right there. Now it's actually going to be layout name. Change this to name and text name. That's fine. Int should be name. That's cool. So you have that set. So we're going to have for the email. I think that will just be the same. Paste that in there. That's for email. Let's get to look at what we're doing. Text input layout. So this time that's margin top 20. So it's gets slightly closer of the email. That's fine. So let's add the password. I think we have the password here. Just pick it so be on the same page. Register. tag, copy, register, right there. So that's for the password, layout password, the text password, it's fine. Right, of course. So what other field are we going to look at? Confirm password. We need to confirm the password. So place that right there. Now it's going to be layout text. The layout confirm password. Now we need to have edit text, confirm password. So the int will now be confirm password. Should have confirm password. Take that out. That's fine. Now we're going to have the button. Let me introduce the button from the activity login. That's the button field. Copy this. Come over here. Paste it right here. Let's look at the view. Around course. Now the button should be register the login in the ID. Register. That's fine. And margin top. All cool. Now the text should be text instead of text login. It should be register. That's fine. So afterwards, we're going to have the same text view we had earlier. So I copy these as well. Back to the register. This is right here. Now it's actually going to be text view login link. That's the ID we're going to give this. It's going to be app compact. Let's call it compact text view login link. It's fine. Send to. So this will be already a member login. So let me get to create this. This will be text member. Back to strings XML. Let's create that string. It's not part of what we have. String text member. We need to have something of this nature already. The member required to log in. So back to activity register. It's fine. You can see that set. So we have that set. Let's get to look at the preview. So we have the login and also the register looking quite good. From here, we're going to move to the classes. Hope you didn't forget that we're going to use Sqlite database to handle the user's data. So first of all, I'll be creating some packages. I'm going to have activities. We're going to have helper. We're going to have model. And we're going to have the SQL. So that's fine. In these packages, we'll be having some classes right inside them. Just like the way we have login activity, now I'm going to refactor login activity into activity. So I just dragging into it and it refactors right there. So we're still going to have register. Then create those activities we'll be needing. Register activity. We're going to have users activity. So in the helper, that's where we have the validation. We have input validation to validate the form. In the model, we're going to have the user, the user data, that's the get and set user. So call that a user class. User. While in the SQL, we're going to have the database helper. That's the Sqlite itself. Call that database helper. That's fine. I'll be stopping here in this particular part of the video. So catch me up at the second part where we're actually going to be concluding with the Java code, and let's get the login and register application using SQLite database in Android setting ready. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Catch me up in the second part of this tutorial. Bye bye.